I'm Ali Steiner, and the movie that I want to talk about today is the movie Now You See Me. It opened in theaters in like May, and it's probably the most recent movie I've seen. For me, the movie reminded me in ways of Inception. It had this kind of convoluted plot that took you on a bit of a journey, and at the end, it was a big shock when the whole mystery was revealed. The movie starred Jesse Eisenberger and Mark Ruffalo and Morgan Freeman. It had a pretty decent cast. The problem for me was the plot, though it was convoluted and interesting, fell short in a lot of ways for me. It left you asking questions about why did these things happen, why did those things happen. But the movie's focused around a group of magicians called the Four Horsemen, and they were charged with ripping off clients and banks and pulling all these big stunts that cost a lot of people a lot of money. And Mark Ruffalo played an FBI agent who was in charge of investigating it. Now, Jesse Eisenberger's character in it, he's kind of the leader of the magicians group, and he plays a very bold, very cocky character. And for me, that was it was something nice to see in a way, where the last movie I had seen him in, at least, was The Social Network, where his portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg was very laxed and laid back and calm, whereas this character was very over the top and bold, and it was a very nice change of pace to see. And for Mark Ruffalo, seeing him go from a lax character to a more intense character as well, because seeing him in the Avengers 2 as the Hulk to playing a very hardcore FBI agent was interesting in a way. Because I haven't followed Mark Ruffalo's career very closely, but I didn't see him playing a character like that, and it was a very nice change of pace to see. But yeah, the movie focuses around these four magicians called the Four Horsemen, and Morgan Freeman is kind of working with the FBI in order to help prove that what they were doing wasn't real magic; it was just a scam. And at the end of the movie, we are introduced to this man who is an associate in league with the Four Horsemen, because they're doing all of these stunts in order to get into an organization called the Eye. The Eye is basically some of the best magicians the world has ever seen. Harry Houdini and a number of other people were the original founders of the Eye, and that these newer magicians are now trying to work their ways up and get into it. Some of the really awesome parts is the CGI and even just the scenic design itself is very interesting. Moving from places like Vegas to Louisiana, New Orleans, going to New York City. I mean, the set and everything was done absolutely beautifully. A lot of the animation as well. There's one scene in the movie where they jump off of a building and their bodies shatter into money. The amount of work it must have taken to have come up with something like that, it was very creative and very tastefully done too. In the movie, the money turns out to be fake money, and it has the pictures of their faces where the president's faces would be, and it was really interesting. I think for me, one of the coolest things to see was, though the plot was kind of falling short in a lot of ways, it did have a really nice build-up. It had this really intense feeling to it, you wanted to find out more. It left you asking more questions, oh, how did this happen? How did that happen? How could they possibly pull off something like this? And then having Morgan Freeman come along and explain it, to me, it also reminded me a little bit of the movies The Illusionist with Edward Norton and The Prestige with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, where they would do these tricks and then someone would come along later on and explain it to you. But all in all, the movie was good. It took a lot of crap for being overly dramatic and having a kind of a lackadaisical plot, but in my opinion, it was still a good movie, and I do encourage people to go see it. It actually is coming out on DVD, I think, rather soon, beginning of September. So if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend it. It's a great film, and I can guarantee you will enjoy it. Thanks, guys.